Welcome. Now, in this module, we're taking a look at Controls Appendix. It's the 8th part, and we're going to talk about communication security. Okay, now, in the 8th part, in communication security, this is A.13, and it has about 7 controls. So communication security in 13.1, which is the first control objective, we have network controls, security of network services, and segregation in networks. Let's take a look at some of these. Network controls. Networks shall be managed and controlled to protect information in systems and applications. So this is referring to network security as well, and we need to apply network controls to protect the networks and systems and applications. And then security of network services. Now, services is not a device, it's a service. So the green part says security mechanisms, service levels, and management requirements of all network services shall be identified and included in network services agreements, whether these services are provided in-house or outsourced. So we could have an agreement to a third party to maintain the network connectivity to, let's say, 100 branches. And for that, we need to ensure the security of the network services and the mechanism, service level, management requirements, policy, etc., processes would all need to follow the organizational information security policy. Segregation in networks. What are we talking about here? Very important control. Segregation. Groups of information services, users, and information systems shall be segregated on networks. So here we're talking about VLAN segregation, for example, on the Ethernet network, and that is a logical separation, for example, to separate the data traffic and the voice traffic, and each department, for example, the finance department and the marketing department and the IT department, they should have separate VLANs so that the traffic is segregated, and the DMZ should be in a separate zone, and the data center servers should be designed so that they are in separate zones, so that the impact of an attack, for example, is minimized, and the broadcast domains are also actually limited. And there are also other advantages of segregation in the networks, and that's very much a security control. Communication security, A.13 is what we're looking at, and the second control objective is information transfer policies and procedures, agreements on information transfer, electronic messaging, confidentiality or non-disclosure agreements, and these are the 4 controls in information transfer. So information transfer policies and procedures, A13.2.1, formal transfer policies, procedures, and controls shall be in place to protect the transfer of information through the use of all types of communication facilities. So wherever we have to transfer information, then we need to have the proper policies and procedures and controls in place. Agreements on information transfer. Agreements shall address the secure transfer of business information between the organization and external parties. So obviously, that information may be intellectual property, that information may have an element of secrecy, that information may be time sensitive and critical because it may be, for example, stock exchange data. And we need to have agreements on the information transfer so that all the aspects related to that information, its security, confidentiality, integrity, criticality, and sensitivity are taken care of in the agreements with the external parties, because information is going to flow through the networks of those external parties. Now, in this module, we took a look at a lot of controls, and in the next module, we're going to take a look at system acquisition, development, and maintenance, and that's all about the software development lifecycle and the secure software development lifecycle. Let's take a look at that in the next module. Thank you.